Right, so now we've done the had a look at how to form the present tense in French. We can have a go at these 10 and see if we can work them out following following the instructions. You can either have a go at those 10 yourself by pausing the video, and then when you've had a go at them, see if you were right, or you can just play the video through and watch how we work them out and then have a go at some different ones on your own. Okay, so if we take number 1, we like, we know it's present tense because it's talking about a current state or fact. Okay, we like now. Now that's true at the present time, so it must be present tense. If we go back to our PowerPoint, the first thing we need to do is find the infinitive. And we would do that by looking up like in a dictionary. Okay, and once we've got that, we need to check the learning mat or the dictionary to see if the verb's irregular. Okay, you'll have to have a look in your own dictionary and see if you can find to like, but it is aimer, so it is an ER verb. And we now need to check our learning mat to see if we can see it as an irregular verb. So if we take the higher tier learning mat, that's the one we need. The irregular present tense verbs start here, aller, and they go right down to the bottom in alphabetical order. So aller, avoir, boire. Now straight away we can see that aimer is not one of them. Okay, and to tell you the truth, there are more irregular verbs that are on than are on here. Okay, but these are the most common ones on the learning mat, and there's the third column that starts up here, with right down to vouloir at the bottom. So to be ultra sure, you'd want to check an online resource or in the middle of a dictionary, and it's worth getting to know your dictionary and seeing how the irregular verbs work in there, because the learning mat's a good start, but it doesn't tell us everything. So we can trust, if it's not on here, we can trust it's regular, or we can check somewhere else. But I can tell you that it is totally regular, totally normal. So in that case, we go back to our next question. So the verb is not irregular, it's perfectly regular, so we're here. So we need to decide whether it's ER, IR, or RE. Well, we saw it was ER, aimer, so we move on to the next stage, which is take off the ER and then add the right ending. So if we go back to the learning mat, the higher tier one has the endings on the back of it. And we can see ER verbs here and present tense, so we know we're in this box here. If you remember, we want we like, so we go to we play, and the ending is highlighted in bold. Okay, that ONS is our ending. So what we need to do then is we need to take off the ER of the infinitive, and we put on that ONS. And then if we put our word we at the front, we have nous aimons, which means we like. Right, let's go back to number 2 then. They drink. So the same process. Okay, so again, we need to find the infinitive of drink, and then we need to check the learning mat or dictionary to see if it's irregular before we do anything about endings. So very quickly, let's have a look at the foundation learning mat, because on the back of the foundation learning mat there's an awful lot of verbs in the infinitive form that are useful on the back. And if we look down the list, we can see to drink is on there. So if it's on the back of the foundation learning mat, it might save us a few minutes looking it up in a dictionary. So once we've got boire, to drink, we need to go back to the higher tier learning mat and see if boire is one of our irregular verbs over here. And we can see this time it is boire, to drink. And it was they drink, I think, that we like, that we need. So it's just there. We just need to take it off the back of the learning map. Ils boivent. Okay, and obviously taking real care that that we spell it correctly. Okay, and making no mistakes when we copy it, because that's what often happens. Now, without the learning map, the only way to do that is to know it. Okay, so eventually, if you're going to be really good at French, you need to remember that one, ils boivent. Without the learning map, you can't just work it out. You've got to know it. Let's move on. He dances. Okay, so again, we look up to dance, and to dance is danser in French, and again, you can find that on the back of the foundation tier learning map, I would guess. Yeah, there we go, danser. So this time, if we look at the higher tier learning map, we'll see that danser is not there. We go straight from boire to devoir. So danser ends er. So we're looking at these endings again. And we wanted he, didn't we? He dances. So the he ending, il joue, is he plays. So it's an e on the end there. So again, same thing. What we did with like, we're going to take off the er of danser, and we're going to put an e on the end, and that's all there is to it. Il danse means he likes. Okay, so sorry, he dances. Right, she is smoking. Now that looks, and if we were translating it, that looks different, because if we were translating that quite simply, we might think that we need a different tense, because there's three words there, she is smoking, as opposed to he dances. But if we remember from the PowerPoint, there are three different types of present tense, reasons why you might use it, and we're here at number 2 with she is smoking, because it's what she's doing presently. And remember, there are 2 or 3 present tenses in English. I play, but I am studying. We've got this one here this time with she is smoking. We've got the ing form. So don't think that it's something different. Okay, so this one we're going to have to look up in the dictionary. Fumer means to smoke. So again, it's an er verb. So we're going to take off the er, and the ending for he is exactly the same as the ending for she. So because we remember that the ending for he is an e, we're going to put an e on this as well, because it's the same. So she smokes is the same as she is smoking, and that will be elle fume. And if we just check that ending there, you see he and she is both an e in the present tense for er verbs. Alright, so back to the number 5 then. I am wearing. Okay, so we need the infinitive for to wear, which we need to look up. That is porter. Okay, and remember, the first thing we do is we check the learning map to see whether it's irregular, and we can very quickly see that it goes from partir to pouvoir, and there's no porter in there, so we know we are regular, and we need to know our ending. We're an er verb, so we're here, and we can see for I, it's an e again, so very easy there. We just take off the er, and we put our e on, and then we need the word for I. Je porte, I am wearing, can also mean I wear. Right, they recycle. We look up in our dictionary, recycler is to recycle, and the first thing we need to do then, after we've got our infinitive to recycle, we need to check and see if recycler is on our list of irregulars. No, it's not. So again, it's an er verb, and I've forgotten who was it. They recycled. So they ending for er verbs in the present tense, ent is the bold there. Ent. So again, take off the ER and put on the ending. Okay, and then the word for they, and it might be a mix of boys and girls, so it's il. If you want to put elle for all female, then that's fine as well. Il recycle. Remember that you do not pronounce the ENT on those they verbs. Ils boivent, remember, and il recycle. Right, you choose is slightly different. And I wonder if you can tell why. Whoops, out. Right, look it up in the dictionary and it will give you the infinitive choisir, to choose. So the first thing we need to do is check if it's on our list. No, it's not. It goes from boire to devoir, so it's totally regular. Now, if you noticed, choisir is an IR verb. So this time on our learning map, we are not looking at the ER verbs, we're looking at the IR verbs, but we're still in this present tense column. So we wanted you choose, and we've got the PL there, meaning plural, more than one person. So we need to remember that the word for you in the plural is vous. So we're looking at the vous one, not the tu one, because that's only one person if you're not being especially polite to them. And the PL there shows you that anyway on the learning mat. And we can see we've got a different ending compared to the ER ending, which is just EZ. This time we've got ISS-EZ. So it's important you're in the right box for the IR verbs. So again, same process in that we take off the IR, but then this time the ending ISS-EZ. And again, we need to put our vous in to make it you, to have the word for you there. You choose, vous choisissez. Okay, good. Okay, so now we want you reply. So we need the infinitive. We look up reply in a dictionary or on an online dictionary, and we get répondre. That means to reply. We want you reply, and the SG here means singular, so we want the to form. First, remember, we need to check our learning map to see if répondre is one of our irregulars. It's not, because we go from recevoir to savoir, so we know we're doing the endings again. However, répondre is an RE verb, so this time on the learning mat we're looking at this bottom box, still under present tense, but this time it's an RE verb. And you cell is tu vends with an S on the end, okay? And you can see that ending is different for the to form of the verb. For all of the RE is different to the IR ending, which is IS, and different to the ER verb ending, which is ES. Just an S if it's an RE verb. Therefore, simply take off the RE, put on that S, and the word you at the beginning, tu répondre. Okay, and number 9 then, pouvoir is what you will find if you look up can in the dictionary. That's the infinitive. You wouldn't say to can in English, you would say to be able, because he can is the same as he is able. So pouvoir is our verb, and if we look to see whether it's irregular, we've got an easy one here because it's there, so we don't have to do anything, we just take it off the learning map. Tu peux. Okay, tu peux, make sure we copy it correctly. And the last one, the infinitive is sortir. That means to go out. So again, let's check the learning mat, and another irregular one we don't have to do anything with. Okay, it was we go out, yeah, so that means it's nous sortons, and that's all we need. We just copy that over. Okay, it is as simple as that. So I hope you have understood a little bit better how to do some of these verbs, and now we'll be able to have a go doing them on your own.